And I can do it in a simple term like you did, elaborate more. Your gender identity is how you're perceived by the world. Your sexual orientation is what goes on in the bedroom. That's pretty much the simple, difference between it. And a lot of people sometimes mix it up a little bit when you're dealing with gender identity. I know a lot of us kind of went through the gay world or the gay phase because, especially if you perceive yourself as, like, for me, like if I perceive myself as a straight male, obviously I'm going to think I'm a lesbian first. When puberty hits kind of concept, or vice versa with the women. In sexual orientation, a lot of people think, oh, you're just doing that to be, conceived as straight, I'm the ultimate lesbian or I'm the ultimate gay man kind of concept. And it's actually a lot of people don't realize is that just because we change our gender identity doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be straight. There's actually a lot of us that are gay or lesbian, bisexual, or and there are a lot of us that intend to be straight, but that's definitely a big difference. Is just because I want to perceive myself as just because I'm transitioning to a male, that doesn't necessarily define my sexual orientation as automatically straight, gay, or lesbian, bi. I still have to figure that out. So that's a whole other process in itself too. So we have to kind of fight both, and we get that fight a lot. Like you fight it a lot with yourself, and you fight it a lot with other communities, straight or gay, like trying to find out which community you still fit in now that you're transitioning. Because you might be, before you even came out to yourself, you might be part of the gay community and realize, wait, I perceive myself as a straight male, and now I'm more in the straight community, or vice versa. Like I've seen a lot of people who come from a straight community who were raised men, never thought about sleeping with men, and they're actually just lesbians. And they transitioned, so they have to throw themselves into the gay world they've never even dealt with. Which can be intimidating sometimes. But that's a big difference.
Well, you see yourself as a straight man, I'm a lesbian. My wife is very happy about that. Well, what? I was able to get legally married in Tennessee. It was awesome. And man, they hated that. It took 7.5 hours, but to get the paperwork signed, 5 minutes, 7.5 hours. It sucked. Only time in my life I've ever fought to be male as well, and that was also very dysfunctional. But yeah, I mean, your sexual orientation is your sexual orientation. And there's all sorts of degrees of where that can stand that have, things to do with degrees of kink, who you like to sleep with, or could be bi, you won't sleep with everybody. And that's okay. And so there's ranges in gender, and there's ranges in sex, and just because your range is I'm female, so me sleeping with men, for me, I have the standard lesbian response. Why? But I know some of my friends who are like, hardcore heterosexuals now that they've changed. And, I'm happy for them. Not my thing, but I'm happy for them. My favorite, though, is a couple who were with the Vals and the T-Men. He transitioned to a she transitioned to a he, and they got married.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. And that's Christy and Patrick. They're awesome. And I was at the wedding too. It was incredible. Because you're sitting there going, okay, so you basically swapped, and now you're married. Outstanding, and it's legal any way you cut it. And it was just, you're just sitting there, this is fabulous. Only in this kind of situation where you have no clue what the hell your gender or sex is, would a marriage that awesome occur.
So you know these two people, I mean, they were just awesome.
Oh, they were just both incredible.
They met at T-Val, that's how
they met at Val's. Actually, I was at the meeting where they met.
Yeah.
Because she and I started transition at the exact same time. So, and they are awesome.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
I think it's all like a labeling thing. Like, what was the question?
The question was the relationship. You couldn't be on Jeopardy, Jen. The relationship between transgender and sex and sexual
Sexuality and gender.
Yeah, and gender.
Oh, sorry.
Gender identity and sexual
Okay, I'm
orientation.
sorry.
Yes.
It's been a long day. My gender identity is how I present, and then like my
Sexual orientation.
my orientation is who I choose to date. Or
All right, so I know there's different terms for that. I know some people don't want to be put in the social construct. Could you like explain that a little bit more of like who you date, like pansexual?
There are a lot of different variations within, just labeling of the way you identify. Like, there's not just gay, lesbian, bisexual, and that's just basically saying that you date one specific thing. But there are people who consider themselves queer, and that's a really big gender umbrella to just kind of to not identify yourself in one particular little box. Like if you say you're a lesbian, you're a girl who likes girls. But I consider myself a pansexual, which means like pan means many. And so I'm not just limited to dating men or women. I'm just kind of open to, I can date a drag queen or whoever. Like, I'm just attracted to many people. So it's not just singled out. But for me personally, like that whole like, that like fitting into like that straight role is like a new thing for me because I had always previously dated like queer women. And, being in relationships with straight women now has put me into a heterosexual role. And, depending on the right, situation, I'm kind of comfortable with that, which is weird for me because I've been in the gay community for a really long time. And so it's interesting to be put in that gender role, as a straight person and dealing with, like, the way that they view stuff. And it's been a really big eye-opener.
For me, the relationship was rather easy. As a guy, I dated girls, and as a girl, I date guys. To me, it was that easy. I didn't really think much about it. I had 7 girlfriends, and all my girlfriends told me, they were like, you're just like one of my other girlfriends. And I was like, really? Does that make me gay? And which is kind of cool because now I'm really good friends with all my ex-girlfriends. And yeah, they love it. But I find myself attracted to guys. It's just the thing. Just kind of happened. But
transition in your head.
Yeah, it's just been interesting though dating because I'd rather date straight guys because gay guys pay no attention to me. I go to a gay bar, I'm bored to death. I'm just like, hello, and then lesbians come over and they're like, so what's your name? I'm like, next. So I go to play. At least there's an opportunity for a straight guy to be there amongst the mess of all them. And they have to know that there is a chance that the girl they're dancing with may not have always been a girl, I figured. Because
you hope.
I hope. Because I go to straight clubs and all that, that's fun and all, and I get like guys, they're like, hey baby, give me your phone number and all that stuff. So I just give them like a fake phone number, I just give them one number off and all that. But yeah, it's been definitely a journey finding someone to date because it's like, people are like, guys are like, well, does that make me gay? I don't think so. But, I guess if you really get technical about it, I don't know. What guys think?
No.
I don't think, I just see myself as a straight woman with a straight guy.
Did you
we have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Questions from the audience. If anybody wants to ask a question, just go ahead.
Oh, sweet.
Did you wait till you transitioned to like you guys?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, this is really ironic. I met my first boyfriend at church. I did the worship stuff, like the lyrics and all that stuff, projection, and he played the piano. We were good buds and all that stuff. And it's really weird because he told me one day I was at his house, he said, don't take this wrong. He said, that don't like freak out or anything, but he said, if you were a girl, I would so date you. And I was like, I'm like, isn't that? Yeah, well, 2 months later, surprise, right?